I've got a few sheep. I've got an orphan cat, but he's by himself. So I'm trying to teach him to be a lamb.
I would like to call the meeting to order of the County Board for Wednesday, July 12th, and invite you all to please stand and recite the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome you all here today and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Good morning. Patrick.
Here.
Bruner.
Here.
Chittick.
Here.
Farnham.
Here.
Lorenzen.
Here.
Luddington.
Here.
And Voigt.
Present. Thank you, Mr. Clerk. First item on the agenda to deal with is the minutes from July 14th of the regular meeting. You've all had a copy of those. I would entertain a motion to approve those minutes as presented.
I have one change
Okay.
on the committee reports. Reported the cameras are working at the animal shelter where we had one that wasn't working, now it's working. So,
Did you falsely report that?
No.
Did you falsely report that?
yes, I did.
I
I was told they were working. Now they are
Well,
working.
if you were told they were working and that's the way you report it, that's the way it has to be reflected.
Okay, I was told
Okay?
they were.
And then we can correct that under your report.
Okay.
Okay, and then that will reflect the accuracy, okay?
Okay.
Motion to approve the minutes, then?
So moved.
Derek moves,
Second.
John seconds. Assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Next, we have claims against the county. Gentlemen, you've had those. Any questions? Don will not be here today. So, hearing none, motion to approve the claims against the county as presented.
So moved.
Derek moves. Dan seconds. Assuming you're ready to vote, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. County Board member claims. You've had those. Any questions? Need a motion to approve, please?
So moved.
Derek moves. Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Next, we come to the point in the meeting for public comment. I'd like to remind everybody that there is a 5-minute policy on the time we allot each person. We ask you to identify yourself, please. So, we have a rostrum set up there, and if anybody wishes to address the board on their public comment, we invite them to.
Well, that was,
Never a loss for words, right,
Yes.
man?
Chad Kaufman, representing my wife Jill, both landowners in Edgar County. And we appreciate the county board's reluctance at signing the agreement on the road, if I understand this correct, on the road agreement with Airman. And we appreciate that, and we hope that you'll continue to hold back until we get through the resolution of our lawsuit with Airman. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Any further comments today?
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely, John.
I haven't heard anything since Monday. I assume the judge hasn't issued a ruling or anything since then.
Yeah, and I haven't been notified by our attorneys. So.
Okay, I figured I would have heard,
Right.
but thought I'd ask.
Thank you both. All right, then we'll move along from public comment to highway resolutions. And the first one is in fact a resolution authorizing the county board chairman to sign the Illinois Rivers Project road use agreement with the Ameren Transmission Company for the roads owned, operated, and maintained by the county. I think you all want to talk about it a little bit first here before we have a motion. So,
Well, my concern is And we've talked about this many times, I've heard everybody's opinion. Dealing with the court system, everybody knows that everything in the world takes them forever to do anything. I think the agreement itself is imperative we do that, but the question is when. I think there's gonna be a lot more delay. This is just my opinion, you know what opinions are worth. I don't think that this is something we have to jump right into. I think it's something we're probably gonna end up doing, I hope. We want to protect our roads, so we got the people that are concerned about their land, we got our highway people concerned about their roads, we're right in the middle. But we were elected by these people to, you know, to defend what they think is right. So, I mean, if delaying this won't hurt us and can help them, that's what I think we'll do.
Yes, Dan?
My opinion is, it would be fairly easy, not easy, but you can repair the roads, but you cannot repair the reputation that we will have with the landowners. And that's my concern.
Thank you, Dan. Yes,
I
John?
was just gonna say, our policy, since I've been on the board, has been to wait until the court case is settled, and I mean, we're kind of in the middle ground on that because the trial's over, but the judge hasn't ruled. So, you know, I'm not sure I see a reason to veer from what our policy's been.
Other board comments?
I'm not sure that was a policy, but I got.
Well, it wasn't, okay, policy may not be the right word, but yeah, agreement,
We listened to the group
right,
a month ago, and they said give us 30 days.
yeah.
And here we are, 30 days, but we realized that the court
No,
ruling hasn't come in. But I've got a question, since all the people that are here, is there any work being done in the county on anything related to the project?
We heard there were.
Yes. May I speak?
Yes, Tom.
Dunlap's ground, they're clearing trees,
Okay.
okay? But that's the only work that I know of.
Mhm.
Oh, and McLean's. McLean's,
Okay.
John McLean's and Scott Dunlap's ground, they're cutting trees.
So the only thing they're, as far as Amron's doing, is clearing, using a bulldozer, and anybody could use the roads to use a dozer. I mean, they're not doing anything
Yeah, a
out of the
logging-
ordinary,
A
no,
logging company could do the same thing.
right,
So,
anybody. And are you aware of anything,
Not beyond that.
I mean, in your contact with Amron, they've never,
I guess they've reached out to townships for permits to create entrances, et cetera.
To do
Access
what?
points, to create access points, is my understanding.
the ones that you've worked out with them to the
Well, no,
roads?
we have a road use agreement, and we say that they can only be on X amount of roads, but they, in my understanding, I haven't talked to them, Shannon Quincy and all that liaison, but
Right.
my understanding is they've reached out to townships and they started requesting access to these roads.
Is this in coordination with what you worked out with them?
Yeah, there's that big road use agreement that you have,
Right.
it's in there, that they have a permitting process, and they also have to pre-inventory, they have to inventory all the roads that they'll actually
Right.
videotape it. and do
How long
something.
will that roughly take?
I imagine they hire a consultant to do that work, so I don't know.
A month?
Uh,
60 days?
Sure, somewhere in that range sounds appropriate.
Okay. Because my concern is that, you know, I've read through the road use agreement, and, you know, it states the damage they do, they're responsible for, but my concern is a year, 2 years from now, stuff shows up that's not apparent, you know, initially, is that gonna be covered?
Well, the answer would be no. If something happens 2 years from the time of completion, no. we
I
wouldn't.
mean, if you find cracks in bridges and,
Yeah, the bridging, they're gonna be restricted to legal loads only, and if they use a super load on the bridge, that's something that we really spend a lot of time discussing with them. They'll have to have a permitting process, and once they come to us for permit, we'll ask for a loading analysis.
okay,
We did that with the gas line up north.
right. And then, I know 30 days ago, the townships, you indicated that they were kind of waiting to see what we were gonna do.
Absolutely.
But they can still go ahead with their
They can.
agreement, no matter what we do.
That's correct. We've indicated to them for, I think it's been a couple of years, I don't know how long it's been on, but our indication, my office's indication to the road commissioner, who will be the person executing on their side, is that they can go alone. But my understanding is it's been communicated to them, so they were gonna wait on the board. Now, do they have to? The answer is no. But we believe, I know of 2 of the 4 that are getting a little anxious, but we believe the other 2 of the 4 are waiting on the board's movement first.
Are they wanting it done right now, or?
Half of them are. 2 of them are, 2 of them aren't. In fact, I thought one of the 2, actually I thought both of them were going to do it last month, but I haven't heard that they have. And we encourage them not to because we're still tweaking on that road use amendment.
So there's a benefit to those townships to wait on our approved agreement in order to make sure their verbiage matches with ours when they submit theirs to.
I think it would be beneficial to them. That's my professional opinion. I think they have their own instrument and their own agreement. It's something that Edgar County, as far as I know, the only county in the state that did that.
Sorry, dude.
I believe we're the only county in the state that said that for county roads, you'll have an agreement with the county board chairman, and for the township roads, you'll have an agreement with the road commissioners themselves. Because we didn't want the county, talking extensively with the chairman, the county didn't want to represent the townships. And the townships felt the same way. So the townships there's 5 instruments out there, a county road use agreement and 4 township road use agreements, to answer your question. And to date, it's my understanding that all 4 townships have been waiting on the county to first execute their instrument before they do. And theirs will only take a road commissioner's signature. Ours will take a county board resolution.
And I assume that they are going to wait before they sign anything with Ameren, until they've got the road use agreement signed. Does that make sense? Or maybe I'm off base.
No, Ameren can start, like Tom said, they can start anytime they want. This road use agreement's in addition.
You said there was things that were out to the townships that Ameren was waiting for them to sign. Is that a
They
separate
have road
issue?
use agreements as well.
You're talking about the road use agreements?
They have their own road use agreement that looks just like yours, only except for the signature block. Each township has its own road use agreement. I can't remember what it's up to, 26 pages or.
And that's what
Each
Ameren's
township-
been pushing 2 of the counties to sign.
Ameren's asking the 4 townships and the county to sign that road use agreement so that they can work collectively to protect the roads. And they have indicated by email that they will start without a road use agreement. And that's.
Have you talked to any of the township boards, any of the people here?
And I've talked to township road commissioners.
Dan?
And there's something in the road use agreement that there's $1 million in escrow that we can draw from later on when they completely finish the job.
Yeah, they're bonded.
That's what I thought.
There's a bond, a corporate.
So you
bond
got so
agreement.
much money there, when they completely finish the job and leave, we still have money to use to fix roads and
No, I didn't
bridges for
read
a
it
period
that
of
way.
time.
I didn't read it that way, no. I
That's
read
what I read.
that they're
I
bonded,
could
that
be wrong.
if they don't honor their agreement and we determine that they're not honoring their agreement, and they basically just quit on us, then we can go to the bonding agent and say
Right.
that your
Right.
client's not performing.
So we are protected basically over a period of time, even though they're not, they say they're done and have left.
Yeah, I don't wanna get too hung up on that. I don't wanna.
Well, I mean, it's there, it's in the road agreement, we sign it.
I'm pretty
and have on
confident
it.
that we'll be able to assess
Right.
damages prior to the completion of the project.
Right.
I think this is an out in front, not a behind. I think we're kind of looking at this differently. I'm looking at it, this is something you want to do ahead of time. It seems to me like the board may be asking questions like, well, are we protected a couple years later? And that's, to me, that's not the purpose of the road use agreement. It's more to get out in front of it than to have protections behind it.
A bond normally covers the contract that you're under.
Correct.
And whether they produced what the contract calls them
I
to
still
do.
think it's that after they leave, we still have an option of using that money to repair certain things. I could be wrong, I'll reread it.
But currently, they're not doing any work in the county, basically. And I know when I was out there 6 months, 8 months ago, when that Ameren representative was there talking with you, he showed us a timeline of
Right.
doing the work, and the heavy loads and the extra length of roads are probably gonna happen in 2018, for the most part.
They're clearly behind schedule.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I can't imagine they're going to start, the heavy loads for them are going to be the expensive part of the project. And they're not gonna start doing that piecemeal until they have everything lined up through the court system and a go. I mean, just, because then they're spending a lot of money on something that's still up in the air.
Yeah, I
And the
think a lot
ground
of,
clearing, that's no more traffic than the roads have now, really.
Derek, you had a question?
I just wanna hear, so we've heard kind of one side of the argument, I'd like to know from Aaron, if you have information in that regard, is what are the consequences of a further delay? I mean, what are the potential pitfalls of delaying this another 30 days, another 60 days?
yeah,
Is there anything out there that you're concerned about?
there are concerns, and our concerns are administrative. You guys are administrators, and I work in an administrative capacity. I think the biggest concern that we all need to keep in mind is the amount of time it takes to do administration. So when you're working on projects, I don't want to get you off track, but when we're building or designing or planning anything, so much of the work happens in front. Most, I hate to say it, but by the time they're building something, there's been 2 years expended in getting there. And the only concern that I have is if we keep waiting, which, by the way, I support everything the board's done as well, and I believe in standing up for the constituency. I just think we're starting to push a point here where we're going to say, okay, hurry up, let's get started. So I think if they show up first, we're going to be have a little less leverage. That's all. I think they have indicated in writing that they will come with or without a road use agreement, and I would go as far as to call it a courtesy that we have a road use agreement. And from my perspective as your county engineer, I think that you gentlemen want to be very cautious in sticking your nose up to someone that's willing to enter into an agreement. And that agreement, we've tweaked and worked on. We've said things like, if you make a mess out there and you don't clean it up, we will, and we will bill you. And they've agreed to that. So there's just little things like that. However, with all that being said, the highway department's recommendation to the board this morning is that you table the resolution for another month. That's the highway department's recommendation.
I'd hate to say a month. I think it should be tabled until everything's settled. Unless it gets into the wintertime when you're gonna have freezing and thawing on the roads, and
Yeah,
we should sign it.
I think we need to evaluate it on a monthly basis.
Right.
I think that's all he's saying. Not that we're gonna put it on the agenda next month, but we
Right.
need to
That's my
find out what's happening,
Right.
consult with our constituency and our professional people, and then make a decision on what the best course to
If it
do
gets close
on
to
a
winter time,
monthly
then yes,
basis.
I think we should sign it.
Right. Yeah, yes.
I'll make a motion that we table this at this time.
Thank you, Carl.
Can I make one more comment, please?
Well, we've already had a second, okay? And these aren't debatable once they're started. Phil seconded. So we're asking for a vote now, so all those in favor of tabling the motion,
I think you ought
Let's be a roll call.
you want a roll call, guys?
Yes, please.
That's fine.
Are you ready?
Yeah, sure thing.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes,
Farnham,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
and Ludington.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. It is tabled. Do you want to make a comment now?
I do not.
Sorry, it's
That's
just
okay.
Robert's rules, buddy. Okay, would you be so kind as to describe, because the next
Yes.
2 till 7 have, thank you for being here, gentlemen.
Thank you.
2 through 7 are all kind of together, so would you kind of do a synopsis of what we're talking about here? Thank you, guys, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck. Well, they're not throwing anything at us.
I'm staying for the rest of the meeting, but my ride's leaving.
Sure, you say that now. Okay, would you take us, go ahead,
The
Aaron.
next 6 items on the county highway have to do with the safety project. We talked about them Monday. I'll be glad to give you a synopsis on any one of them. But basically, you're gonna approve money, spending some motor fuel tax money. You're gonna approve a couple consultants to help with the engineering. You're gonna approve a consultant to do the PE, which is already done. And you're gonna approve a resolution saying that you'll pick up your share of the federal agreement. I would remind everyone that for 2 years, the last 2 cycles, that you have passed a resolution of support to do countywide striping for 58 miles on the county system. We have been told
God, I hope you didn't drop
that we will be getting that money. We're rushing to get it to a September levy so that it can be done this year. If any of this stuff does not get passed in this month's county board agenda, it will not happen this season. So it's imperative that we discuss anything that you may be reluctant to pass. I think it's pretty straightforward stuff. 90-10 split, the cost to use very low. A couple $100,000 worth of markings, 20,000, our 20,000 match, $20,000 local match, we're using state match dollars. The 9110, the first one you're gonna pass, is approving $25,000 of expenditure of motor fuel tax. I don't anticipate you'll spend that. I'm saying that we're gonna spend less than 10 of local funds on the whole project. I highly encourage you to move on this and to stand behind your.
If we get approved for the railing, that's a separate, I can't remember what you said.
It'd be a
last
whole
time.
different ballgame.
Okay.
We're gonna take care of that all separately, maybe as early as next month, but I doubt it.
Okay.
So the first resolution is a 9110. I guess Jeff has to read it all, but you're gonna approve some motor fuel tax to use for this project. Again, it's about $6,000 worth of PE, and it's already done. So item number 2 is the 9110 motor fuel tax resolution, saying that you're willing, you and the department both have to sign a form that says you're willing to spend motor fuel tax on this project, county motor fuel tax.
Any questions, gentlemen? Okay. Resolution for improvement of BLR 09110, appropriating motor fuel tax for the following: various routes for the HSIP pavement marking improvement program, section 17-00135-00 Do I have a motion to approve that resolution? Carl moves, Dan seconds. Any further discussion? Would you please call the roll, Mr. Clerk?
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
Ludington. I mean, I'm sorry, well, I got out of order, but Farnham
Yes.
and Lorenzen.
Yes.
Sorry.
Did you
I got
pour
it.
Phil in
Ludington.
there?
I had reacted quickly.
I squeezed him in.
I handled it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Quick on your toes.
The resolution is approved. Next resolution is authorizing the county board chairman to sign BLR 05510 local agency consultant agreement with Knight and Associates for the preliminary engineering for same said project. Do I have a motion to approve? Derek moves, John seconds. Assuming you're ready to vote, would you please call the roll, sir?
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
And Ludington.
Yes.
It does carry. Next item is a resolution authorizing the county board chairman to sign BLR 05310 LA Fed participation agreement for the same project as stated.
So moved.
Dan moves,
Second.
Carl seconds. Assume you're ready to vote. Can you please call the roll?
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
Ludington.
Yes.
It does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Resolution to appropriate local funds for various routes for the HSIP pavement marking improvement program as described above. Motion to approve. Derek and Carl, assuming you're ready to vote.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen.
Yes.
And Ludington.
Yes.
And Ludington. Okay, resolution authorizing the county board chairman to sign a BLR 05611 local agency consultant agreement with Hillard Bookkeeping Service for the construction engineering on said project as described above.
So moved.
Dan, Carl, call the roll when you're ready, sir.
Patrick.
Yes.
Bruner.
Yes.
Chittick.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lorenzen. Ludington.
Yes.
Just a personal note here, I noticed that Andy has stayed out of this. You gotta leave early?
No. I wasn't here Monday, so I don't want.
Oh, no, I'm just having fun with you. Okay, last item on this project is resolution authorizing the county board chairman to sign BLR 611 local agency consultant agreement with Knight and Associate for the construction engineering of the various routes for above said project. Motion, please, to approve this resolution. Carl moves.
Second.
John seconds. We're ready to roll. Mr.
Patrick?
Clerk?
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Luddington.
Yes.
Okay, those resolutions are approved. The last item for the highway,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
the last item for the highway department is to appoint a noxious weed control superintendent, which the engineer described to us Monday morning, and that would be Dirk. And he would get a stipend for doing that. We discussed it. Andy, do you need to hear more from the?
What was the name we called
Yeah, I
it?
didn't get my-
Weed what?
I didn't get my
Whistle or
answer.
something?
Where'd I-
Thistle warden was
Thistle
the
warden.
original.
Oh, yeah, thistle.
Can we change that in the writing in the resolution?
I asked Monday what noxious weed is, nobody told me, so I don't know.
Not obnoxious, noxious.
Jeff will swear it in. Jeff will have to swear it in.
I'm the noxious people warden.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve that resolution so that we
I'll make that
make,
motion.
okay, Carl moves and John seconds. I assume you're ready to vote, so when you're ready, Mr. Clerk.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
and Luddington.
Yes.
And that is approved.
I just want to,
Please.
that's mandated by the state.
It is,
I mean, I just want on the record, we didn't make this up. They told us that we have to have that, and why we did that.
the clerk received a letter from the United States Department, Illinois branch of the USDA stating that the county was not following the statute.
As
This is
did
our response.
most of the counties in Illinois,
As is
because
the-
nobody was doing it. So it's not like it was just a Edgar County hanging out there going, no, we're not having a thistle program, so. Hey, I'm out of order now. Okay, resolution relating to participation of elected officials in IMRF, as Augie explained, on a, annual or biannual basis, we need to renew our participation parameters as described in the state statutes so that we adhere to the letter of the law and make sure that our elected officials are properly covered. So you've got that resolution. I need a motion to approve, please.
So moved.
Dan moves,
Second.
Derek seconds. Do you have any further questions on that? Mr. Clerk?
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
and Luddington.
Yes.
It is approved, thank you. Number 10 is to reappoint Tom Simonton, trustee, North Fork Conservancy District, for the term of August 21st, 2017 to August 21st, 2021. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Derek moves,
Second.
Carl seconds. Do we need a motion or
Yeah.
you?
Well, no.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. It does carry. Next is a resolution to appoint and accept oath and bond of Mark Gilbert, trustee, Drainage District Number 3 of the town of Shiloh, County of Edgar, State of Illinois, until the first Tuesday in September 2017. Okay.
Can I ask a quick question on that, just for my own curiosity? We have several trustees on drainage districts in the county. I've never noticed before except oath and bond. Do the drainage districts put a bond up for the person? Do they, is the bond their word and oath? Are they bonded as a trustee, I guess is my
Unless they wanna
question.
answer
I
the
don't
thistle
know.
warden.
Yes, they are bonded.
Okay. And the drainage district puts their bond up, they don't individually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just was curious how that worked.
Why such a short term?
Yeah, that.
Good question, because Mark is stepping in to fill out the term for his father.
That's what I figured.
And then it'll be,
And then John's term was up in September.
so this is dotting the i's and crossing the t's.
That's what
Make
it
sure
is.
everything's legal and fine.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll probably more likely see his name again in September.
That's fine.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, and Derek seconds. Whenever you're ready.
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Luddington.
Thank you, gentlemen. He has approved 2018 holiday budget. You should have that in front of you. I think, what? Holiday schedule, not holiday budget. Quiet down, sir.
That was my deputy that did that, not me. I set the revised schedule as I promised you that would include the would include Good Friday. Everything else is exactly as the state mandates.
Questions, gentlemen? On the budget? Terry? Okay, I assume you're ready to vote. All those in, we have a motion to approve. Okay, Derek and Dean. Assume you're ready to vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right. Next, we have an intergovernmental agreement to execute with the Department of Innovation and Technology for Internet Infrastructure. Augie?
That is a follow-up resolution. Last month, basically you approved the amending the current contract, and this basically dots the i's and crosses the t's, because the Central Management Service of the state of Illinois is restructuring, and they're renaming their division, or they created a new division of the Department of Innovation and Technology, and they run the internet backbone off of the jail tower at the jail, and it's a part of the infrastructure, and of such, the schools get free access to the internet. So,
Motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Second, please. Yes, Andy seconds. I assume you're ready to vote. Would you call the roll, Mr. Clark?
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
Yes.
Lorenzen,
Yes.
Luddington.
Yes.
Now, here is a resolution to adopt prevailing wages for 2017. Personal favorite of several of us, so we're required by law to address this issue on an annual basis and adopt prevailing wages for any projects that we have. If we do not wish to do that, then we have to commission a study in order to prove our position, which would be alternate to the prevailing wage,
Really
as
don't have a choice.
basically.
I-
So we need a motion to
So moved.
approve the resolution. Dan moves,
Second.
Derek seconds. Now, discussion? Okay, would you call the roll?
Patrick,
Yes.
Bruner,
Yes.
Chittick,
Yes.
Farnum,
No.
Lorenzen, Luddington.
Yes.
It does carry 5-1. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Well, I don't know why, but we lost one department head because the sheriff just left. And we've already heard too much from Aaron.
No,
Aaron, do you have anything to add?
They told me
Seriously.
I couldn't speak beyond the resolutions. That's all I got.
All right. Augie?
A couple things. First of all, Dina couldn't be here today. They're busy across the street, the assessor and the treasurer's office. She asked me to remind everyone of the public meeting of the Edgar County Farmland Review Committee, and that is July 18th in the Farm Bureau basement. And I'm searching frantically for the time. It's 6 p.m. 6 p.m. There it is. Farm Bureau basement.
Okay.
Okay, so I got that out of the way. Would you like for me to continue?
Yes, I would.
Okay. We are still in the process of cleaning out the Kreckman Building, records disposal, that type of thing. So we should be nearing the completion of that. And you may have noticed in the paper or on the internet, we've advertised for sealed bids for the contents of that building. So the ad's gonna run a couple more times. It is up on our website. As of this morning, I don't have any bids, but we still have time. July 28th, last day to submit a bid for the contents.
You have people look.
I've had one person look.
Andrews?
Ingrams. Okay, also I'd like to, is there any more questions on the corrective? Okay. Want to follow up on the basement door project. It was more or less a one-sided dialogue with a guy over in Clinton who has not engaging with me. So I took it upon myself to find a different company. So I meet with a gentleman tomorrow morning here from Bacon Van Buskirk. So they obviously do a lot of glass and doors in the area. So
I'll get back to the Kreckman Building. We had a meeting out there at noon yesterday, and every light in the place was on.
on. Was Bob there?
Nobody was there.
Every light was
Every
on.
light right lit,
Nobody,
and every light was on.
ever like,
I know I went by there yesterday at one point and he was backed up to the
Yeah.
door loading stuff.
I've seen him, he's been very active.
maybe he's been in and out of
Maybe
the
He's hauling stuff.
Yeah, we was in the front.
That's probably what it was. He was
I
coming
turned them
back.
all off, but that's it.
Yeah,
They-
Figured it out.
he's there all the time, in and out.
Sleuth, that's us.
That explains it.
Write that down in a minute.
Gold star.
Okay. The other thing I would like to mention is that every 2 years, county clerks across the state are required to purge voter rolls, just clean them up, deceased people, those who have moved out of the area. And so our purge has begun. Liberty Systems, which is our election vendor, is taking care of a lot of it for us. So new voter ID cards are being mailed out to every registered voter. So everybody should be getting a new card. And then from there, if it comes back undeliverable or returned, then we have to send another piece of mail out just to confirm that it was not deliverable. And then it's a process. So, questions on the purge?
Not Chicago.
No, we should be okay,
They agree with it.
but, let's see. I think that's what I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Eric, do you have anything for us this morning?
We are taking registrations for our 8th EMT class, and the class is almost full. We're taking registrations for our 2nd advanced EMT class, and the class is about halfway full. And we just registered 3 of our paramedics to go to a critical care training program to better serve their community.
Is your class half?
Our medical director just recently approved our new critical care protocols, and there's a 100-hour course that the paramedics have to go through besides a field internship before they're allowed to function at the critical care level, but it will better serve the people of the community. And there's certain requirements, that's why only 3 are going right now. We currently have 3 on staff that already are critical care, but we're sending 3 more, but there's years of experience before they're even allowed to go for that spot, so that's why we're only sending 3 right now, because they met the requirements of it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, we're getting ready, geared up for Fair Week. So we'll
Won't
see
be
them
long.
out there.
Fair week,
Oh, yeah, we could,
boy.
have to get the trucks out there for all the events that are going on.
Thank you, Eric. Jeff, do you have anything?
No thing.
Okay, we'll move along to committee reports. Dan?
Had an animal meeting yesterday at the Kreckman Building. At that time, the camera was not working, but I just got notice that the camera is working.
You sure?
Well, he
Official
told me-
record.
yeah,
You're on
he told
camera.
me. Right, he told me.
For Jeff said so.
It is,
Yeah.
it isn't working.
It is working.
Okay, good. We're still in the process of trying to get the food supply for next year. Andrea's set out a lot of questions. We may still have to end up paying shipping on the food supply, but right now we have no place where to get it, so.
Which that could be substantial, I'd imagine.
Yes,
if
it
you
would
Go
be.
through a lot of food, so.
3,000 pounds every 3 months, I think she said. She's gone to Rural King, they want to sell it to us. Walmart, I'm not sure on that, but she has some feelers out, so we'll see what happens. It's gonna be expensive one way or the other, so she's gonna put something in the budget to pay for the food next year. We did have a application, not an application, but a person that said they're willing to serve on the health department committee. I talked to Dr. Lee at the hospital, it's spelled L-I, and he's willing to serve to replace Dr. Phipps. So he does fit the credentials, he has to be a doctor, has to live in Edgar County, so he just said, yes, I'll do it. So we'll bring that up next week, and then we'll bring it to the board the following month.
Thank you, Dan.
Other than that, no problems.
Andy?
I think they've pretty much got the air conditioning upstairs. There's two of them, two in the courtroom probation. I think they've got that pretty well wrapped up. I wanted to get in here early this morning and see. They're gonna remove that radiator in probation. And I went up before I left on, I guess I came up on Sunday morning and went up there and looked where it rotted out. And gave instructions on what I wanted him to do as far as removing the radiator. So I'm gonna go up there afterwards now because I wasn't able to get here.
Have Dan take it down in the elevator.
Okay. It's gonna take- Probably
It's
take all-
perfectly safe, don't worry about it, it's fine.
Hey, I use it. Little bathroom, you gotta get there quick. Don't put that in there.
You're on video.
And I'm playing phone tag, email tag with people on the building, but once I have something more concrete, I can get an answer out of somebody.
Anything on the clock there? What about the guy in Terre Haute?
I don't know, I'm more worried about what happened in the courtroom there.
Okay. All right.
What happened?
I don't know, I just been sitting there looking
Oh,
at
I
that
see,
all.
yeah.
All morning.
Well, there's a hole.
This is what happens when you're working on one thing and somebody says, hey, this happened over here, and you end up going over there and working on something, so.
It's like a water leak or
Yeah,
something.
it's
it
water
does.
leak. Was that yesterday?
We had a big storm here.
Yeah, I guess
If you're around here, you know.
Yeah.
I just heard about it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you. Phil? John?
Nothing.
Carl?
Union folks want to meet with us, and we preliminary come up with a couple dates, the 19th or the 26th of July, which is a Wednesday around 10 o'clock. Does that work with your schedule, either date?
Yep.
Either one's fine for me.
What day of the week's that?
Those are Wednesdays.
Those are Wednesdays.
Wednesday.
Either one's fine with you,
Yeah, that's Carl.
Jeff?
Yeah.
I'm
What
sorry,
time?
What time?
That's just.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock?
So Augie, can you contact both Mark and the other guy?
Bill?
Bill
Jarvis?
Jarvis,
Yep.
and give them those dates and see which one is best for them, and we'll have a meeting out at the Kreckman Building.
Did you find somebody to help you on the negotiations?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
Okay.
We're,
See
we're
where we go
working on it.
first,
See what?
see where we go first, and then
Okay.
Yeah,
Do we want to get together a little beforehand?
yes,
So you want to make it, you want to,
9:30.
9:30 for our committee meeting, and then 10 o'clock for discussions?
Still gonna be a Kreckman though, right now?
Yes, it's still at Kreckman.
Okay, 9:30.
Okay. Is that it, Carl? Derek?
So just to follow up with the letter we got from the state, so it would be IDOT's general counsel explaining that the policies we put into place were sufficient for them to turn the spigot back on. So that's in work. Talked to Alan Lacknick Monday. He said there's one more hurdle to cross. He didn't seem to be pretty optimistic as far as timeline and when he thought that would be done. We have a November letting and a January letting. So obviously construction wouldn't be till next year, but things looking good.
Okay.
Eric, how's, we've been waiting on the beacon because of that. I mean, how's that going, or do we have, is that part of
It's
the
all
letting?
part of
or
the
is that-
same,
it's all
not part of the letting, no, but we have to clear that last hurdle before we get that taken care of, so.
What is the last hurdle?
FAA complaint from Mr. Bogue to the FAA, Alan Lacknick seemed to think that that was.
I just wanted to hear you say.
You wanted to hear it? There you go. Enjoy. So, yeah, it didn't seem to be that was going to be more of a issue than the original one, so. The FAA seems to be a little faster than the state of Illinois, so one way or the other, we'll find out.
Okay. Couple things. Oh, yes, you had one more thing.
I did, I wanted to, Andy mentioned the elevator, or Derek did, I don't know, one of you mentioned the elevator. We did have the elevator inspectors come in a couple weeks ago, and we passed, so our elevator is
So far, so good.
safe so far, so good.
So our elevator goes all the way to the top, man?
It goes all the way up, and it comes all the way down in a safe manner.
Doesn't stop and
Well, Andy's glad to hear that. One of the things that we talked about Monday morning was health insurance. And I'm sure that you've got some of that. Do you want to explain some of the, like, bidding? I mean, we just bid it last year. Do you want to bid it? Do you not want to bid it? You know, so those
So
are
what did they
things
say, how much go up this year?
we don't.
Well,
You know,
I contacted Bushu, and number one, they said, you just bid it out last year. And, you know, every 2 or 3 years is sufficient in their mind. And as far as renewals, they've not heard yet from Blue Cross for our renewal. However, what they are seeing, other renewals are between 8 and 12% increase on the average.
We should see it around August 1st. It's a couple weeks till we,
Yeah.
normally it comes out about 60 days prior to our policy renewing. And the policy renews every year annually on October 1st. So
So
August,
sometime next month, the
first
Blue
part of the
Cross will
month.
be giving us
We
some figures.
should, because that's gonna hit the 60-day
Have you
mark.
talked to Kirk any?
No, I just talked to Bushu, who
Right.
talks to Kirk. But I'll contact Kirk.
Just make sure so we don't want to get delayed and,
The
Got it,
minute it hits,
got it.
we need to know.
Okay.
And you've been
Because
good
you
about
need to
that.
know for negotiations, I assume.
Yes.
It would be very helpful, yes.
I can't think of anything else.
who else is on
On which one?
that? On insurance.
I
think
You're chairman, aren't you, Andy?
Patrick's chair.
Chairman.
Trying to hide it, that's what.
Whatever you think.
Okay, is there anything else? Do you have any questions of me, gentlemen? I kind of went over finances and on Monday. I've got a copy for you, Andy. I did note that on, somebody asked, or several of you wanted to know where we were on overtime for the sheriff's department in total. And we were at 94,000 at the end of July last year. And currently we're at what, 91? 91. So we're virtually equal or even to last year on overtime.
Everything we did didn't really make that much difference.
And, we only had like 3 or 4 months of that agreement with the road deputies, and then that was null and void. We still have the agreement in place for the dispatch,
Right.
and we're utilizing some of that to save some money.
Now we're down a deputy now too, right? So that's gonna make it work.
Well, that was, you're basically a net zero change,
Right.
right? Because we were short a deputy that was working on the road prior to we hired a new one, and then we had the injury.
Oh, okay.
Sheriff, have you chosen, or administrative, or do you have an undersheriff? Have you done anything in that regard?
Put anybody in there as of right now, no.
But I didn't think you had, but
I mean, some of the job descriptions have went to different guys.
Okay.
Like one guy's doing the computer stuff that he done, one guy's basically doing the shift stuff, one guy's doing the investigations.
Okay.
It's pretty much getting done, just by 3 or 4 people instead of one.
You'll notice the current balance sheet. Don apologizes for not being here today. You'll notice, and I still think our decision to, if you go down to IMRF retirement fund, and you notice that the general fund has put in about $157,000 into that fund to make it proper and to reduce that interest payment that we would have been making. So all in all, Don said, everything being equal, next year we should get caught up a bunch. We're in pretty good shape, because if you add that 191 back in there, we're at 250,000. It's going to be nip and tuck, depending on when he makes the distribution of property tax, whether we'll have to borrow by the end of the month to make the final payroll. But actually, he was pretty optimistic about where we're at on the budget at this point. Okay.
And we still, do you know what we have left to borrow as far as?
Well, he's borrowed 150 on 500, so we've got 350 left. Okay. Okay. Anybody have anything else for the good of our county to bring up?
Oh, one other thing.
Yes, sir.
The weeds on Wood Street have been mowed. I brought them by a private concern, so it does not cost the county anything.
Appreciate that, Dan, sincerely.
I
It's
will
very
take
nice
care
of
of the
you
rest of you.
as a public service. Okay, hearing nothing else to come before the meeting, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Derek moves.
Second.
John seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen. We have resolutions to sign. Thank you.
14 hours, right?
My comment was to try to get it done by fall before the roads.
I did.